Disney parks are the happiest places on Earth, but scratch the surface and you'll find something else. Creepy legends, bizarre myths, dark little secrets woven into the story of the parks themselves. Some are true, some are completely false, and some, well, they live somewhere in between, keeping the mystery alive. So buckle up. Today we're diving into some of the strangest Disney myths, urban legends, and creepy secrets that might just change the way you look at the magic forever. On July 8, 1974, tragedy struck Disneyland's America Sings attraction, a rotating theater that had just opened the previous year. 18-year-old cast member Debbie Stone was working as a hostess when she was crushed between a moving wall and the rotating stage. The accident was widely reported in newspapers at the time, and Disney quickly installed safety measures to prevent it from happening again. But the story didn't end there. According to cast member lore, Debbie's spirit still lingers. Some say she whispers warnings like, "Be careful," to employees working the ride. Others claim they felt a sudden, unexplained chill in the spot where she died. Today, America Sings is gone, replaced by Innoventions and now other attractions. But for many, the legend of Debbie Stone's ghost remains one of Disneyland's most unsettling tales. The most famous Disney myth has nothing to do with the rides. It's about Walt Disney himself. For decades, people have whispered that after Walt passed away in 1966, his body, or at least his head, was cryogenically frozen. Some say he's beneath Sleeping Beauty Castle. Others swear he's under Pirates of the Caribbean. The truth is far less dramatic. Walt was cremated shortly after his death. In fact, the very first person to ever undergo cryogenic freezing didn't do so until weeks later in January 1967. Walt's daughter Diane even went on record saying her father likely never even heard of cryonics, let alone requested it. So why does the myth live on? Part of it is because Walt feels larger than life. He created timeless worlds, so fans wanted to believe he himself is timeless, frozen in secret chambers, waiting to return. It's pure fantasy, but the kind that fits the man who gave us fantasy in the first place. One of Disney's darkest legends is actually true. When Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean debuted in 1967, Imagineers weren't satisfied with the fake skeletons they had built, so they turned to UCLA's medical school for help. The solution? Real human skeletons. For years, guests drifted past actual skulls and bones as part of the scenery.
Hi! In Pirates there is a real skull. It's actually in the captain's quarters. It's the skull on the headboard right above the bed.
Eventually, advances in special effects allowed Disney to replace them with artificial versions. At least, that's the official story. Many fans insist some real bones remain, especially the skull mounted on the headboard in the treasure room. Photos show discoloration and aging that some claim could only come from the real thing. Disney has never confirmed or denied these whispers, leaving the debate wide open. So the next time you sail through Dead Man's Cove, just remember, those grinning faces may have been more real than you think. The Haunted Mansion is already home to 999 happy haunts, but some guests have tried to add a few more. Over the years, families have attempted to scatter the ashes of loved ones inside the ride. For a long time, this was just a rumor, but in 2018, the Wall Street Journal reported on it, citing custodial cast members who confirmed Disney has a special HEPA cleanup code for vacuuming up cremated remains. It happens most often inside the mansion, though attempts have been made on lawns, in flower beds, and even on Pirates of the Caribbean. Disney strictly forbids it, and those caught are escorted out immediately. Still, attempts continue. So while the mansion's ghosts are fictional, some of its spirits may be very real and very permanent. On the surface, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride seems like a quirky, lighthearted attraction, but if you pay attention, you'll notice something truly grim. Riders take the place of Mr. Toad, careening through the countryside in a reckless motor car. After a courtroom trial, the car suddenly lands on train tracks. A headlight appears, a crash is implied, and just like that, you're in hell. Yes, The ride ends with fire, demons, and a literal underworld scene. There's no redemption, no happy ending, just eternal damnation for poor Toad. And you, his passenger. For decades, kids rode the attraction without realizing the dark story behind it. But once you know, it's impossible to miss. Disney may be the master of fairy tales, but this ride ends like a gothic horror story. Across Bay Lake from Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort lies an 11-acre island most guests never think twice about. But this patch of land has one of Disney's eeriest secrets. It was once Discovery Island, a zoological park filled with exotic birds and lush trails. When Animal Kingdom was opened in 1998, Discovery Island's attendance plummeted. By 1999, the gates closed for good. What makes it unsettling is what happened next. Nothing. The animal hospital, cages, and aviaries were simply abandoned. Photos showed peeling paint, rusted fixtures, and buildings being swallowed by vines. In 2020, police body cam footage captured the island's ghostly state after catching a man who had snuck into camp overnight. Guests ride ferries past it every day, unaware Disney's own ghost town sits in plain view. The Haunted Mansion has plenty of deliberate spooks, but one of its creepiest details wasn't planned at all. In Disneyland's version, during the famous ballroom scene, sharp-eyed visitors may notice a tiny black spider stuck to the massive glass pane that separates riders from the ghosts. Why a spider? Because sometime in the 1970s, someone allegedly fired a BB gun or slingshot inside the attraction, leaving a hole in the glass. Replacing the pane would have required cutting open the roof, since the 30-foot glass walls were installed before the building was sealed. It was too costly to fix. So Imagineers covered the damage with a little spider and web. It's been there ever since, a patch for vandalism disguised as a creepy Easter egg. The next time you ride, look for it. It's one of the park's strangest scars, hiding in plain sight. Few Disney myths are as chilling as this one. For years, guests have sworn that during evacuations of Disneyland's It's a Small World, they spotted something horrifying, a body hanging among the dolls. Stories described a maintenance worker discovered dead, or a cast member who ended their life in the attraction. Videos and photos circulate online as proof, showing odd figures dangling in the shadows. But here's the truth. It never happened. The hanging body photos are either doctored, misinterpreted, animatronics, or urban legend. Disney has never recorded such an incident, and no credible news outlet has ever reported it. Still, the myth persists because it's the ultimate contrast, a grotesque image hidden inside one of Disney's cheeriest rides. Creepy, unsettling, and completely false. So, have you ever heard a creepy Disney story that stuck with you? Which one of these do you believe, and which do you think are just tall tales? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this dive into Disney's darker side, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next countdown.